right, so yesterday I came in and did a 10-minute observation on you. Some things that I liked when I came into your class was, I like that you moved about the classroom. I also like that I like your classroom management skills as well too. I enjoyed watching the kind of the differentiation of the groups, because I know you did one where you stood up, where you had the kids stand up and say what the answer was, and then the entire class acknowledged them. Then I saw that your DOL was on the board in your SC, your success criteria. What else? Your whole group discussion. So tell me, why did you pick that lesson yesterday?
Sorry, I'm trying to remember what you did.
It was the writing, and it was a group discussion on a passage.
Oh, yes. Well, we did that yesterday because it was in the IPC.
Okay.
And then, the reason why I decided for us to go back over the passage is because we read it about a couple days ago, and it was good to just do a refresher. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess some other things I saw was like, I know you asked the question like, what writing styles, right? When y'all doing the compare and contrast thing on the board. So my question is, what are some other rigorous questions that you could have asked the kids for a higher level thinking?
I could have asked them. Well, I guess, I don't know if I asked them this first, but to identify different types of writing styles, and then also for them to maybe identify the writing style that was in the passage that was in front of them.
Okay.
Yeah, because I believe I think I frontlighted it basically kind of hinting at what it was, even though it was kind of obvious, but some students probably didn't pick up that it was a diary entry, so making sure like, hey, do you know that this is a diary entry, and what makes it a diary entry?
Okay. Student engagement. So I also noticed, right, this is some areas of focus that I would like for you to focus on, is that like, even when you like told the kids to like get in groups, like some kids were like, I don't want to be here. So what are some techniques that you currently use for student engagement?
So what I normally do, which I didn't do yesterday, is that I have this like spin wheel thing where they're grouped by needs, masters, and approaches, and I'll spin the wheel and it will land on, it depends on, like, sometimes I do animals, sometimes I do fruit, but whatever it lands on, that is the partner that they're with, and it's usually easier for that kid to engage with someone that is more on their level versus in the groups that they're in.
Okay.
And then also sometimes allowing them to kind of pick their own groups is nice too, because then they're more willing to share out versus with someone they're a little bit uncomfortable with.
So you would say that you have your classroom set up into groups of mastery levels based off the content?
Yeah.
Okay. That was my next question. All right. So, in order to keep helping and so you become a master teacher, like what are some PDs that you feel like you would need to push you to that next level?
I think a PD that would be nice that I haven't had here would definitely be like how to incorporate more rigor into the classroom. I know how to do that, but it's like, it's always good to get those refreshers on like different things that are happening in other people's classrooms or different skills that have popped up that, you know, that we probably don't do here all the time at Spence. That would be nice. And then also, I think engagement too, because that's something that I struggle with, is getting the kids to be engaged, especially when it's a topic that they're not
Used to be,
yeah,
or used to having.
used to having, yeah.
What are some strategies that you use in your classroom? I mean, I saw a little bit of it yesterday. I just want to hear from you. Like, what are some strategies that you use in your classroom to help you identify intervention supports for those students that are struggling?
So, looking at like formative assessments, summative, so getting the data from that. Also exit tickets is helpful too, because it's just like those are in the moment things where you can see, okay, I have about 5 kids out of the 19 that I have struggling. I can form a group out of there and do some type of intervention with them. And then also, when I'm monitoring, that's another way to notice who is understanding or who is struggling, and if I need to bring us all back together, whole group, or if it's about 2 of them that just really aren't getting it, and I need to do like a small group.
If I saw, I think it was Ishmael over there yesterday, kind of struggling on like where to start at, and
Yeah.
who's gonna be my partner,
Yeah.
and all that wonderful stuff. How do you ensure that all kids are mastering the content?
That's a good question. How do I ensure all kids are mastering?
I know you talk about your interventions
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but how do you know that kids are mastering their content?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that goes back to data as well, looking at the numbers and seeing, okay, looking at the TEKs that certain kids are struggling with, and then what's the percentage of kids that are mastering this TEK, what is the percentage of kids that are not meeting this TEK? That definitely helps me to kind of align, okay, where do I need to start at, or something that I need to go back to, etc.
Yeah, because I mean, I like your classroom environment as well too, because you seem like you have positive communication with your kids. And your kids, like I said, when they did the stand-up thing yesterday, they enjoyed celebrating each other, getting the correct answer. Also, once again, even when I stepped in, like, I think Daisy was behind the trash can, you're like, why are you back there? Like, get up here where we can see you. So you're on top of addressing negative behavior. Is there anything that you need from me as an administrator to help you continue on your journey?
Sure. I guess more like check-ins would be nice.
Okay.
And
Weekly
then-
check-ins.
Check-ins and just like, I'm a feedback person, so like, I just like to know that I'm doing well. So just like if you came in, hey, this looks good, or this is something you can work on, like in the moment, so I'll know. Cause then it's like, if I'm waiting a couple days to wait for something, I kind of get in my head about it of like, oh, I probably did
Didn't
this,
do
this,
that right.
yeah. So just like in the moment feedback.
In the moment
Yeah.
feedback. So like sticky notes on your desk.
Yeah.
Will kind of be like,
Yeah.
hey, you did good on this. Hey,
Yeah,
I need you to work on this.
yeah.
Okay, cool. What are some, tell me about your internalizing of the lesson to ensure that your students know what's going on.
Yeah, so I first start with the learning objective and looking at the TEKs to see like what skill we're focusing on. And then from there, I like to look at the work that students actually have to produce in the moment in the classroom. And I like to do that myself to see, okay, what are some misconceptions that I have that I know, like if I, as an adult, I'm struggling with it, I know that, you know, I'm gonna have kids struggle with this too. And then like, that's where I come up with, check for understanding questions, and even like the open-ended questions that kids can answer in the moments with their groups, and require that like further explanation to really see if they're understanding like the reading that
The reading
is
that's
in front of
going
them,
on.
because what a lot of the things that they're doing now, it requires explanation. It's not just like a yes, no, it's more of like why.
Why,
And
yeah.
that's what the kids are struggling with. They're struggling with that why part. So if I can't get them to push that out, when it comes to an assessment, it's gonna be a little bit
So that
challenging.
higher order thing.
Yeah.
Kids are struggling with.
Yeah.
So do you practice that daily when you're with them to get them comfortable?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's something we do in the class every day. So every day it's reading, writing, and writing, where they are answering at least 2 close-ended questions, and then weekly I would like to do an extended constructed response where they're actually having to write a little bit longer than just 2 or the 3 sentences, yeah.
So that goes back into the embedded literature that, I checked off yesterday too. What about visuals? Like what visuals do you have for your kids to use?
Visuals, I like to do the slideshows and stuff like
I
that.
saw that on the thing.
Yeah, and then they also, in the curriculum, they kind of already embed the visuals that students will need. So if it's like a definition or a video that's already embedded, which is nice. So I can kind of project that on the screen and we kind of follow along together
Okay.
of what we should be looking at.
So is there any like other technologies that you use to help kids master your content? I know I saw the computers yesterday. They seem to enjoy that. being on that
Computers and
platform.
then also paper. Paper is very helpful. So I like to have them write on the scratch paper. So that's like, if we're answering a prompt, write the prompt on the paper. And I like for them to map that on their paper first before they go to the actual